ShanChan, so I'm going to be doing some decluttering in the kitchen. Basically, I had some stuff outside on the porch on the kitchen rack that I wanted to be able to fit into my kitchen. So I am taking better use of the space, I guess, so that I can actually get that done. So, number one, we're going to work on this cabinet under the kitchen countertop. I'm gonna turn the camera around and show you. So this is the cabinet I'm talking about. As you can see, everything's been cleaned out because I started doing this before I realized, hey, I should be videoing this. But basically, there's this big bottom part and this little shelf here. And all the stuff came out of it. So these glass bowls, this marinade stuff, these are the kind of things that I had way tucked back under the shelf, like on the bottom here. And then in the front, I had these washing bins full of stuff. So it was like canisters, washing bin. And up here on this shelf was all of this food. The washing bins, I am going to relocate the stuff that is inside those. I decided that the canisters would go up on the top shelf like this. And then on the bottom, I would put all of my kitchen stuff that was like large, that was out on the kitchen rack out on the porch. So it'll go right here. And then on that top shelf beside the canisters probably will be the bowls. I'm going to wash the stuff that was outside on the porch, and I'm going to try and get it into the cabinet and make sure it'll all fit the way that I'm imagining. And when I get that done, I will bring you guys back. Okay guys, so as you can see, the food is still staying out because we're dealing with that tomorrow, because we have some things coming to help us deal with that. So I didn't show you guys this bin right next to it. It has like my Instapot and stuff, but there was a bunch of little stuff that goes to my Instapot Vortex that was there for like making rotisserie chickens and things, little pieces that I had to keep up with, just kind of rattling around. So this is the bin that I had there. So this is for like doing fries and stuff. This is for like doing chicken rotisserie in the Vortex. These are pieces of the Ninja. This is like the motor. This is like the small choppy part inside the big pitcher part. I use this part for making Japanese mayo. I use this for chopping veggies all the time. The blades are over here. There's this thing for pulling the rotisserie out of the Vortex, I think is what that's for. I've never actually made a rotisserie in the Vortex. And then there was like all these little ones down in here. I'm trying to pull one out without like hurting myself. There's these things for the Vortex, and I was like, yeah, these can't just be falling all over that shelf. So they're in the bottom of here now. It's not the best organization, but at least it'll keep everything contained and in one place where I can just like pull it out and get what I need and put it back. So as you can see, my canisters are up here, like I said. I put my straw thing right here because we're not like using them now, but 'tisn't the season to be using them. So I just move them down, and then when we need them, or when it's like summery time, I can pull them back out again. This is a French press and a coffee bean grinder because my husband is not especially fond of the Keurig like I am. This is one of the items that was out on the porch. It's an electric hot pot. I use it to make this Asian hot pot recipe and a couple of other hot pot recipes that I found online. It's one of my favorite things to use, but I just wasn't using it because I didn't want to go outside, drag it off the rack, bring it in, clean it up, hook it up. So now it's here and clean. And the glass bowls are on top of it. Then there's these two plastic things that were out there. I haven't been using them because my oven isn't functioning properly. One of the irons in it has burnt out. So I wasn't baking anything. And these are to carry like cakes and cupcakes in. And I thought about getting rid of them altogether, but I decided that I would keep them because my husband is particularly wanting me to fix tort, which is his favorite dessert, and I can store it in this. And this one I can store like breakfast egg McMuffins, or not egg McMuffins. I'm not buying them from McDonald's. Egg muffins and corn muffins and things in. And then in the front here is all my bento style stuff because I am meal prepping, so I use a lot of that. And then, oh gosh, of course my mixer is here. And then if you look back behind, there's a long Rubbermaid container with a long platter and a casserole dish that I use, you know, but usually only during the holidays. And then I put together this little bin right here. Hang on, I'm going to kind of slide it out. Okay, so I want to explain this to you. So basically I have these two plastic squirt bottles, and that's because I make white sauce or shrimp sauce, whatever you want to call it, because I have my own recipe for it in my Ninja, and these are the bottles I use to store it once it's made. I keep these cups in here specifically because I use them for my green tea. These are like bowls like I keep the soy sauce in for sushi to be served. And then if you look inside the cups, there's these little chopstick holders. And then to the side here, there's just a bunch of chopsticks and this sushi mat. And this is actually just like a travel case for your chopsticks, but it has the pair I like to use the most, so I put it on the very top. So it just slides in and out, and it'll be easy access. So this is the pots and pans above the stove, and basically I rearranged this space because I had this black pot down here, and I had this pan stacked inside this pan with these pots inside of them all sitting on this side, and then this pot and colander and lid on the other side. But I found I use the frying pans constantly and the pots not so much. So I put the pots and their lids up top. I put the frying pans and the one lid for this one that I actually use to cover and cook things, simmer things, when I want to keep the moisture in, down on the bottom where they're easier to access. Now, all of this is above the stove. It's actually really hard to reach. My husband definitely cannot reach it. I can barely reach it. So I usually do what I'm doing now, which is I use one of these guys, the folding step stools, and I just use that to climb up and get what I need. But since what I need most often is the frying pan, and they are no longer on this top shelf, they are now down lower. Okay, so originally I was storing all of my under the kitchen cleaning products in this dollar store tote, but what I found is that while the top is big, the bottom is more narrow, and as I would pull things out, they would all get jumbled up together, and it was just a pile in there. So I took them out and I put them into categories, and this is the stuff I use like constantly, and this is the stuff I don't use that often but I still do use. And they've got these nice little pull handles so I can pull them out very easily. And these guys are like dollar store bins as well. They're just shaped differently. So that was $2 versus this was $1. But I mean, look at how convenient that is. Now I just added back in the Drano, the fire extinguisher, and my husband's protein powder back down here. Some of my kitchen organization stuff got here, so we're going to unbox it. I'm going to cut open the box and I'll be right back. Okay, so here's one. Man, they packed it funny, but this one is the one that is supposed to hold my plates and things. So let's get that out. And let's open the other box. So this is the other thing, and it's supposed to dispense the cans and make it easier for me to see what I got, as well as taking up less space. I've got the wire rack for the cans put together, and I've got the rack for the dishes. So it's time to go put these in the kitchen. So this is the can organizer all stocked up. I put it up here because I was gonna put it in the cabinet, but I mismeasured and the feet just barely stuck over the edge and the doors weren't gonna shut. So I put it up here. The cabinet that has our cups, bowls, and plates in it. And so this cabinet is way more condensed. So much so that I'm like, dang, maybe I should put something else up here, but I'm just not sure what. And then, I added the ramen and the French red, or the French onions here and the ramen there to the pile in this cabinet. I will get that better under control, but for now, at least 90% of the food is up. The only thing really left is the hamburger helper, the goldfish, peanut butter, hummus stuff, and the stuff for my baking thing. So I'm going to meal plan tomorrow. I'm going to, day after tomorrow, I'm going to be making this. And then I'm going to make hummus next. So that will take care of that. The only thing that I'm really left with is this and this. So I will leave this out for now until I'm able to better get that cabinet under control, and then they'll go up there. So these are the two that I like, the regular red berries and the fruit and yogurt. There are some other ones I like, but I like these two together. And I've been mixing them in the bowl. So what I did was just took them out and poured them in layers into this container. So now when I pour my bowl, I will get, mixed cereal without having to open each one of the boxes every time I pour a bowl. I ended up with Great Value instant mashed potatoes, Hungry Jack instant mashed potatoes, and Idaho Spud instant mashed potatoes. I think my husband likes instant mashed potatoes. I also think we had too much stuff and couldn't tell that we had it and re-bought it a few times. Just a few. Okay, so this is the cabinet under the sink, and this is the rack I was waiting on to come in the mail. It has just enough room to hold these foil sheets from Sam's, some press and seal, and some cling wrap. And the rest I had to leave in that other space for now. But eventually I will purge some of what I have. And then this should be a proper solution. I also took this shelf out of my refrigerator. As you can see, it has a placemat on top of it. I like to do that because it helps me to slide things on and off of the shelf easily and out of the fridge without it rubbing on the glass. I'm going to be needing to clean my fridge and redo that severely. Like, my fridge is disgusting. But basically this shelf was up here, and then the shelf I took out was like right here. So it was impossible to fit milk in this, water purifier and the pitchers and things like that, because everything was hitting that shelf. If that shelf had just been a narrow shelf, that would have been fine, but it wasn't, and it was large, and it's just not working. But yeah, I've got tons of stuff in here that's probably expired I need to go through, and then I just need to clean every surface, and I need to clean the glass and put down new mats. I usually do that once a year. Okay guys, so I think that's all I'm going to do on the kitchen for now. Like, there's still things that need to be done in here. It's still a work in progress, but I only did what I did really because I wanted to get that stuff from the kitchen rack on the porch into the kitchen, and then was like, oh, I gotta fix this. Oh, I gotta fix this. Oh, I gotta fix this. But I'm going to make myself stop and go back to the porch and continue clearing and making space out there, because that was the original point. So until next time, you guys, bye-bye.